Economics and Statistics from University of Benin. So a warm welcome to our guest for today, Victor Mekonye, a data engineer. And guys, based on his profile and everything I have, read so far, I believe you know already, like you're going to learn so much from him. There's so much to gain from his wealth of knowledge, and I can't wait for him to, let us know what has worked for him when it comes to strategies that he has applied when searching for a job. So, hi, Victor.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much,
Hello.
Amobi. Wow, your petition, your petition was crazy. Thanks so much,
Thank you
thank you so
so
much,
much for
thank you so
being
much.
here.
I'm very much happy to be here with you guys.
All right. I'll
It's
stop
been a
sharing my
pleasure.
screen now so I can hand over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Amobi. Thank you very much for that. Hi everyone. I'll be sharing my screen right now. Give me a sec. And here we go. Please just confirm you could see my screen.
Yes, I can. I can see your
Oh,
screen already.
beautiful. All right, cool. Okay. Okay, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I think I am doing something wrong here with presenting my screen. Please just give me a sec. Need to share my entire screen. Okay. All right. All right, everyone. Just like how Omomi has brought us into this topic, I would waste no time in doing too much introduction. Today's training session will be about breaking into data, the job strategies that worked for me. Like you said, my name is Victor Mikunye, and I'm going straight to the contents of what we'll be having today. As can be seen here, we have the introduction. I'll be talking about my job search strategy. I'll also be talking about proven strategies that worked for me. In that light, I'll also be speaking about how I moved from one point to another point in my career journey. I'll tell you about how I did it back in UBA and how I got to the UK and I was able to get a job in the UK. And these strategies, I believe, is what is going to help most of you. Um, Not just most of you, I think every one of you. And for you to also understand the fact that these strategies worked for me doesn't necessarily mean that it must work for you. You can also find other strategies that suits your needs or that meets your needs. But I believe with these strategies that I'm going to present it to you guys, you'll be able to like fashion your own kind of way, try to like tailor it to what suits you, how it suits you, and better ways to improve yourself as well. And after that, then we have read time for questions and answer. We have group discussions, and I'll give you the key takeaways, and then we all can have a great day ahead. Now, introduction. So I have a lot of experience when it comes to data. I have been in the tech industry for 5 years and 4 years working in the data space as well. As can be seen, I've worked in banks like United Bank of Africa, and currently I'm working in Netbank Private Wealth. Now, what I do, hello, sorry, can you see my screen?
Yes, I
Yes,
can
yes,
see your
I can see your
screens.
screen.
You can see my screen, eh? Correct?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, I think my wife is just pointing me out like because I'm using an extended screen. So what you guys are seeing is currently the desktop version of this. How about now?
Yes, it's better now.
Is this
Yes.
present now?
Yes, yes, it's
Okay,
presentation.
thank you. Thank you. Good catch. So the introduction, like I was saying, I've worked at UBA, I've worked with Netbank currently, and what do? I turn raw data insights and I drive smart decisions and operational efficiency. My hobbies, I love finance, I love economics. I'm a graduate from the Department of Economics and Statistics, University of Benin. I love football. I'm a Chelsea fan. I am sorry for the Arsenal, Tottenham, Barca fans, but I'm a Chelsea fan. I love gaming, PlayStation. I love networking, and in my spare time, I love to read books. Now, the way I would like this presentation to go about is for it to be conversational and let it not just be so rigid and me doing a lot of talking. And that is why it is important for us all to speak out, speak our mind. This particular session, I want us to I want you guys to tell me what is the hardest part of your job, Sarah? Like, what are you finding difficult? Why is it so difficult for you? What do you get? Like, is it that when you send mails or when you try to reach out to people, they tell you don't have experience or oh, you're not qualified? Or what is it exactly? What is the issue you guys are having? Let's try and make it conversational. I'll just give like maybe 3 to 4 people to just speak up or drop something in the comment section as well if you can. Can we do that? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful. Okay. So can we have that? Can some people drop some stuffs on the group chat for me? Let me just know what's going on. Like, what is the challenge you're having at this point?
Okay, so Hafsa says applying for jobs and getting ghosted. Um Olufumilayo says experience is the challenge. Hajara says experience is the challenge. And Ebuka says CV.
Hmm.
Salam says experience is the challenge.
Wow.
Samuel says securing jobs and removing the stereotype about Nigerians is the challenge. Susnelde says the way he's presenting. Okay. The other can you see his screen? Okay, I think your previous way of presenting was actually okay.
Oh no,
Yeah,
just
because
move this.
mm, I can actually be reading what they're saying, so you don't have to
Yeah,
switch.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just read it for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
All right. So Olajide says resume is the challenge. Dauda says project skills is the challenge. Allow me, especially with people that transitions. I guess she's talking about the experience aspect. Then Solomon says experience and CV. A lot of people are actually responding. And Samuel says hands-on project experience is another challenge. But Key says resume and LinkedIn optimization. Mudukwe resume and project. All right, that's all for now. I know they are still typing, but that's all. So
Wow. Wow.
experience, resume, CV. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice. Thank you guys for responding. This is going to be a very interesting session. Okay. Let me just go back. So now, for me to be able to go around this, I would need to let you guys know about what they call it again, about my own job search journey, how it's worked for me. And all this you guys have listed out, I have experienced it. Come to CV, come to experience, come to the Nigerian factors, things. I've experienced it, I've been part of it. I know how it goes, and I know how difficult these situations can be. Now, I joined the banking sector in the year 2019. I'm sorry, in the year 2016, I joined as a customer service. And when I joined the banking sector, I felt like I have arrived. I was in the customer service section. I was there. I got into the banking sector and I saw like various number of people there, and they were like, I've spent 5 years, 6 years, and no, I told myself, no, I said to myself like, homo, as I'm in this system, I can't spend more than 1, 2 years. I'll be out of here. I'll get the next job I want. And that was in 2016 when I joined the banking sector as a customer service. And then I stayed there 2016, 2017, 2018, and then 2019. I was still in the bank. And I told myself, like, What's going on? I said I was going to leave the bank like within 1 2 years and get a new job and move out. Like, what was going on? Like, I was frustrated. I was angry. I was stagnated. I wasn't happy. Like, I knew that there was something missing in me, but I couldn't really figure out what that was. So in the year 2019, when I finally like I thought to myself like, okay, you know what, I need to do something. What happened was that I went for a particular meeting. That was the period when I think this particular bank, one of the big banks in Nigeria, was trying to get like merged with another bank. I think that was Access Bank and then Diamond Bank back then. And then my current bank, my bank then was UBA. We absorbed a lot of staff from other banks into our bank. And then we had a new group head. And then I went for a meeting, and what was said in the meeting was like we were not marketable. And when I heard that statement, I looked at myself and like, if I were to go to another bank or go somewhere else, am I really marketable? Like what this guy is trying to say to me is like, I do not have value. And I was pained. It was quite disappointing. It was a very painful experience for me. So that same day when I attended that meeting and I heard that statement, I had an interview. No, not an interview. I had an assessment with a different bank, and then if I did not wait for the whole meeting to finish, I just took a bus from Marina all the way to JKK. I know we all know JKK Hall in the close to Anthony Village, close to Maryland. I went to JKK Hall. I was not even set for the assessment. I just went for the assessment. As God will have it, I did not pass the assessment. And then I was feeling like I kept thinking to myself, like, what do I do? How do I live? How do I add value to myself? What do I do? At this point, I never knew I was going into data. So what happened this was like, I just told myself, you know what? I'm going to start applying aggressively, going going for interview, trying to put myself out there. And then I saw a particular role, a customer service role. And it was with one of these fintechs in Nigeria back there. I don't know if they still exist. It's called Branch INC. It was a loan company back then. And then I went for the assessment. In fact, before I went for the assessment, I checked the job description and they said you need to do SQL, like you need to have knowledge of SQL, you need to have experience in customer service. And I told myself, you know what is this SQL? Let me say try, let me check all this SQL was all about. And that was the first time I knew that SQL was not really SQL, it was called SQL, structured English query language, but we shortened it to SQL because it sounded much better. And then I tried it. I went to W3 school. I researched about SQL. I was like, I need to leave this job. I need to get out of this place. I need to show these people that I know what I'm doing. And then I started learning SQL with W3 school. And it was very nice. So I was, for the first time I tried putting two, three things together, and then query was coming up. Like I was able to query a database. I was getting info, and it was fun. And then I went for these assessments, did the interview, and I failed. I wasn't taken. And then I got back, I started strategizing. And I want you to all know that, like I said earlier, I'm a graduate of economics and statistics. Had a 2-1 degree. I think that was like my biggest achievement back then. And I was writing my ICANN exams then. I was looking for more of finance roles. And then I was applying for finance roles. I wasn't getting finance roles. KPMG, PwC, I wasn't getting these roles. And I was like, what do I do? How do I move from this place? How do I get out of here? And then I think in 2019, I wrote my last paper in what they call it. I wrote my last paper in what they call it in ICANN to get my ACA, and I go back to the office. I spoke to some guys. Like, in fact, I didn't really have so much hope about anything about moving, but I was just trying to get out of where I was. And I spoke to some IT guys. I'm like, you know what? I want to move to IT. I want to move to tech. And they're like, what do I want to go and do in tech? Like, what do I know that I want to go and do in tech? That I did not graduate with computer science degree. I had a certification in computer science. That what do I know I wanted to do in tech? So I sat down, I thought about like, you know what do I want to do in tech? How do I want to go away from here? So the SQL was still in me. I loved it. I was going learning the SQL. From the SQL, I did some research. I saw Power BI, and then that's check online. Everything was pointing towards data analytics, and I like this data stuff. What is it all about? I did my research. I spoke about it, talked to people about it, and in fact, in the year 2019, in November, where I wrote my last paper for ICANN, I chatted one of Amdari's leaders then. That's what's his name? Efemena. I don't know if he remembers. I chatted him in 2019 because I saw his post about something about you lacking clarity, lacking direction, lacking stuff. And I sent him a chat. I just chatted him like, Efemena, this, that, how do I go about it? And he was very helpful. He told me stuff. He told me what to go. He told me to learn quants, and like he understands my plights. In fact, while this presentation is going on, I'm still going to show you parts of how you could do things like this, like reach out to people and talk to people about your career plans, your career goals, and stuff like that. So I suppose to a film now, if not give me ideas like, oh, go to Udemy, do Coursera, check some courses, try to learn quants, analytics, and do stuffs. And it was in 2019. And I started, I was enjoying what I was doing. So when I wrote my last paper for ICANN, I got back to the office and I saw a notification on my email like, do you want to join Tech Academy and stuff? Like, what do you want to learn? And I said, oh, I would love to join the data analytics aspect. Let me try and use my data. Let me try and use my statistic background and build up myself. And so when I did that, fortunately for me, I did the interview for data analytics and I was not accepted. I was rejected. But during my whole presentation, like interview, a particular lady saw me. I was like, you know what? I like this guy. It seems like he knows what he's doing. She asked me what have I done? I told her I was good in Power BI. I told her I was good in SQL and stuff. And she was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take you to my own team. So back then I joined a team called Payment Systems. Our function was majorly to handle payment systems, for us to handle transactions, transfers, clearing checks, like manage applications and stuff. And why did I had colleagues and friends as well who had moved as well from customer service role to the tech academy into tech like I did. Like we had the same journey, the same movements, and we would speak about our dreams, talk about our dreams. And then I spoke to a particular leader sat down close to me. She was my teammate in my current team. I told her, you know what? I like data. I love working with data. I would love to be in data analytics. I spoke to her about my dream. And this is why I keep telling people, don't keep your mouth shut. Don't close your mouth. You see, there's this saying that says that goes by a closed mouth doesn't get fed. We have this Nigerian mentality where we like, no tell anybody anything, no, you don't know who is after you. The minute you know that you are not that important, like everybody is busy, everybody has their own life to move about and get things done, the better for you. I spoke to her, I told her my dreams, and we just hit it out, we just hit off like that. And then I, while I was working as a payment system officer, I went to go and see what the data guys were doing back then in the bank, and I had a good rapport with them. I'll just see what they are doing, talk to them, like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys working on? What tools are they using? And while I was still in my role as a payment system analyst, sometimes when I'm having a downtime, I just like download Power BI, download stuff, work on SQL, work on Power BI, do report, do dashboard, and then close it just for my own sake. Something now happened in the year 20, like after COVID. Yeah, after COVID, that was like let's say 2021, 2021. Yeah, 2021. Yeah, something happened in 2021 where another bank came and like took all our data guys, like the whole thing, like they they harassed us. They took they gave all of them good offers, took all of them, and then that was how the opportunity for me came up. And they said they needed somebody they needed to bring in guys that could take over the data space, the data team, like learn from these guys before these guys leave, and people that are fitting very well, that has the skill set and stuff. And recall, like I earlier said, I had been learning SQL. I'd been doing Marvin Analytics Challenge. I've been reading lots of YouTube courses. I've been online. I've just been putting myself in data space. Like I've been trying to I have been preparing myself for the opportunity. by learning, training, and keeping myself updated about what was going on. And that was how I had the opportunity to do an interview with the data team. And then I did the interview. Um, I did well. I got into the position as a data analyst. I worked with them. It wasn't so easy. It wasn't as easy. I'm seeing someone saying they can't really hear. Hello, can you guys hear me? Okay, everyone.
Yes,
Yes,
we can hear you.
yes,
Okay,
we can
okay.
hear
we
you
can.
loud
Oh,
and
okay, okay.
clear.
Okay, cool. Thanks. So I got into the data team. I was learning. I was doing. Oh, someone saying interval. Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't really know what's going on with the network, but please bear with me for those who can't hear me. So I was in the data team. I was using SQL, using exercise. I was trying as much as possible to get as much as possible that I could get. And then I was where I was in data team, we had the advanced analytics team. So sometimes I'll go, I'll sit there, some of my guys, like just talk to them, like what are you guys working on? What projects are you guys working on? And then like that, I was picking up knowledge little by little. Now, the previous role I had, as I said earlier, I worked as a payment system analyst. I was able to get some important things in that role. First things first, I was able to improve my SQL skills. Second thing, I was able to identify rules. I was able to identify concepts like application concepts. Like back then, we had like 3-tier architectures, 2-tier architectures for application support and stuff like that. I learned a lot about databases, different type of databases. I learned about Oracle. I learned about SQL Server and stuff like that. But you must know that before I was able to move into the role of data analyst, I had challenges prior to when the opportunity came up. Well, I was a payment system. I had a situation whereby I wasn't really that happy because I could see what I wanted to do, but I wasn't there. I could see the guys doing and living my dreams, but I was not there. But I wasn't. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that I wasn't happy, but I wasn't as happy as I thought I could be at that point. And one thing you should know is that when you have set your mind to your dreams, the devil will always try to put in some kind of obstructions, like you face some kind of things to test you to make you know if you really want to do, if like you get something that would make want to take you away from your career path, like want to divert you away from your career path. And one of those important things that came up for me was money. Money was a major factor then. So I got married in the year 2022, and I think before I had moved into the role of a data analyst, I was working in payment systems, and I was like, you know what, the bank is not paying me enough. I need to leave. But then again, be- yeah, I need to leave. Like I need to leave, and I got offers. Like some offers came in and stuff like that. And yes, that was one of the reasons back then why I had the opportunity to move to this, because when I told my boss that, you know what, I'm leaving the bank. I got an offer from some banks and I have two banks and I needed to leave. They say, okay, what do you want? What can we do to make you stay? And I told them, you know what, I have always had my eye in data analytics, and I know that my friend has told you that I like data analytics. Let me go to data analytics and I will stay. And then you know what? I stayed. I went to data analytics and I stayed. And my friends were like, why will you move? Why will you go to data analytics? See, this bank is giving you good money. Go and make money. Your wedding is coming up and you're saying you want to do data analytics. Like, you will learn data analytics online. Like, you don't need the experience. Like, what are they doing in data? It's not just SQL. It's not Power BI. This thing is simple and small stuff. And this is why you need to know that, as we go on with different, you realize that experience is very key. They don't they sell experience for markets. Experience is very key. Your ability to prove and to show that you can do something is very, very important. So I knew like, in fact, in 2022, I already made up my mind, like, you know what, even as I'm going to do data, I still need to like remember, if I already made a decision, like, you know what, we're going to leave the country, I'm going to go out of the country. So I did, first of all, I did my experience, I did my training, I did my I did my research. I did my research. While I was in the data team, I was already planning my next step of how I'm going to move. And then I was learning online, checking online, going on LinkedIn, doing research, checking, okay, you know what, what's this place I'm going to? What is it that they're looking out there? Like, what do people want? in those roles, like in this data analytics role out there. What do people want? And then while I was in data team, I was still learning. In fact, truth is, my guys, truth is, you all need to have the feeling of you need to have a good work ethic. You need to be very selfish with your careers, because one thing you need to know is like you need to drop your ego and be willing to learn. And one thing I did when I got into the data team is like, you know what? I had people, young boys that were doing well. They were very good. They were very skilled. They were doing massive stuff. I could see their skill sets. And you know what? The only way for me to learn from this guy was to bring myself down. Not like, I just bring myself down. Like, let them know that, oh, I'm willing to learn. Give me any tasks. Give me any tasks you hate. I will do it. All I wanted to do was like, I wanted to start getting the experience as fast as possible, because I knew where my next target was. And so I learned from some of the best guys. As time would go, these guys started to leave. They were getting good offers and they were leaving. I did not have I was just a year into the role, less than a year into the role. I was in 2023, and many of them were leaving. And I was like, I started becoming like the top guy in the team. So any work that comes to the team was coming to me. So while I was doing that, I um I did my research, learned SQL, learned Power BI, started putting my stuffs online. I started speaking about what I wanted to do, and then the time came for me to the time as I was still doing that particular role, I started getting frustrated as well, because I wasn't getting paid as much as I thought I would get paid, and I wasn't happy. You see, as time went on, I wasn't as happy as I wanted to be. So and I said, you know what? I'm leaving this place. I need to start applying outside. I need to go out of this bank. And then something happened. I got a very big offer from another bank. And however, it was not for the role I wanted, because I did not have the needed experience for that role. But they saw that I had experience in a previous role, which was my former department as a payment system analyst. And when I saw this offer, I told my guys, like, oh, I had this offer on ground. Do I still do I leave? Everybody say, you had two offers last time. You did not take it. If I don't take this offer, I'm a fool. And as time would go on, I finally realized that in fact this was the devil way of trying to like take me out of my path. Let me use my hand, go find Wahala. I saw this offer. This offer was very nice. Was I had no reason. And in fact, prior to me seeing this offer, I already had inside information that they're applying to increase salary in that or that place. I said no. I was going to stay. But I'm not really this offer, because I knew what I was looking for ahead. I wasn't chasing the money. The money was not the problem. I had done my wedding then. I did my wedding in 2022, so it was 23. I got that offer, and I was like, you know what? I'm not chasing money. I need the experience. I need the data analytics experience. And then I stayed. And as God will have it, I was promoted like maybe like a week after I got that offer. I was promoted, so it was not close to what the money was saying. And then I stayed and I got the experience. And then just to highlight that, you need to understand like you need to have a deeper hunger. You need to know what you want. If money is what you want, it should be short-lived, because money will take you to as far as money will take you to as where you will not get satisfaction. You will not be happy, because when you are doing something just because of the fact that you're earning enough money, you would not be happy. You would really not be happy, because there's no internal drive. Your drive is just money. And I've seen guys who have just chased the money, and then 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, they get another offer. They keep jumping, keep jumping, keep jumping, keep jumping, keep jumping, keep jumping. Don't chase money. Money would not take you that far. Chase passion. And that was what really helped me. For the fact that I wanted to chase my dream of being a data analyst, I stuck with my current role. It wasn't rosy. It wasn't easy. Do you know how difficult for you to see like you've been in the bank for close to 7 years, and then you see probably somebody who just recently graduated from university comes and is earning the same amount as you, and everybody is like, "Yeah, but you had offers. Why don't you just leave? Why don't you just leave? Leave. Go to another bank and make money and jump and go to stuff like that." But God we have it. I resigned in 2023, and then I came to the United Kingdom, and it was different. Prior to me coming to the United Kingdom, I did trainings. I tried to get myself certified in various ways, like Power Platform. I tried to get myself certified in Microsoft Power BI. I also learned some other skill sets. I was learning SSIS, ETL, and stuff. And then when I came to the United Kingdom, it was a different ball game because many many data analysts will always say like, oh, they want to learn SQL, they want to learn Python, they want to learn Power BI. They leave the basics, they leave Excel, they throw Excel out. And you see offers, you see jobs that had so many, like you see jobs on LinkedIn that had so many you see jobs on LinkedIn that like was really paying well. But what did they need? They needed they needed what they call it, someone that had experience in Excel, someone that needed experience in Excel. And me, I didn't start learning Excel then. Like when I was in Nigeria, I was really focusing on SQL, Power BI, SSIS, and stuff like that. But when I did my research and I found out, like, you know what, Excel is important here. So many companies back here in the UK needed to use Excel. They needed to use SQL. They needed to use Tableau. I started to try and make myself fit the market. I tried to give myself a kind of competitive advantage because, first of all, I'm an immigrant. I'm coming to a country where there are other people who have been there before me. There are people who had experience before me. There are people who had a different kind of visa kind of situations that favored them compared to me. I needed to try and give myself a level playing ground with these guys. And so I did some stuff, go for assessments, and you'll be seeing assessments of where they're asking you Excel. And this is what I'm telling you guys that are trying to break into the data system, try to break into the data sector. You need to learn the basics. Don't skip the basics. Don't be like me that skip the basics of learning Excel. Learn Excel because there are some companies that still uses Excel as a data store. There are many companies that pay good money for you to know how to use Excel. Excuse me. So you learn Excel, and I did stuff. So I learned Excel. I was doing projects alone. I didn't have a job for a while. I was praying. I had God in everything I was doing. I was praying, like I was speaking to people. I was asking my friends back in Nigeria, like, you know what are the current tools you guys are using in Nigeria? What projects are you guys working on? While they tell me the projects they're working on, I will start doing the projects, putting on my CV, trying to doctor my CV in a way that suits the current environment I was trying to enter. And you know what? The truth is, when I got my current job as a data engineer, I had no experience as a data engineer. The fact that I applied the role as a data analyst, I, one thing you need to understand about the data sector is it's a jungle. Everybody is a data analyst. The conductor that you're boarding the same bus with is a data analyst. The difference between you and that conductor is your skill sets. If a conductor can make decision based on the data he's having about the fuel price, he's a data analyst. What are we doing as data analysts? Is to analyze data. But what makes you different from Yabasira, or what makes Yabasira different from Chicken Republic is packaging. You need to learn, you need to know like different skill sets. So what differentiates you with point A and point B, or what differentiates me and more with me is what? Our skill sets. You can have 10 data analysts in a room, but not all data analysts are the same. All of them have different stacks. You can see a data analyst that knows SQL, you can see a data analyst that knows Python. You see a data analyst that knows Power BI and knows Java. You see a data analyst that knows C# or .NET and that knows Power BI. So the data space is very big. What separates you or what gives you value is your skill sets. What can you do? What can you show people that I can do this? I put this on my CV. Can I do it? And as God will have it, I got my current role as a data engineer. And what happened? What made me? I never did the role of data engineer, but because of the fact that I had built myself, I had learned SSIS, I had learned some skill set like data warehousing back in my previous role. It helped me a lot. It helped me a lot. It gave me a situation whereby I was able to show what I could do. I had listed it in my experience as well. And that is how I moved from customer service to the role of a data engineer. And this is why I will now be speaking about the strategies that helped me The first thing first, in like I said earlier, is about God. You cannot do anything without God. For me, it works for me every single time. If I'm trying to move from one point to another point, like if I'm having difficulty trying to navigate my life, trying to navigate any stuff, I speak to God about it. And you know what? Ne- After that, then like after speaking to God, then I move forward with whatever I want to do and stuff like that. That's why I'm showing you these two Bible verses, Ephesians 6 verse 18, that says the Bible teaches us to cover everything in prayer. Everything I was doing, I did it in prayer, and God was able to direct me. And Mark 11:24 says, "For this reason I am telling you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe, trust, and be confident that it is granted to you, and you would get it." And after that, after speaking to God, prayer without works is what is rubbish. I don't waste your time. After that, I did my research. I researched on the career paths I wanted to take. And this is what I'm going to tell you guys. Please try and research on the career paths you want to take. For different roles, we have different roles in data. We have the data analyst roles. We have the data engineers. We have the business intelligence developers. We have various forms of roles, and these roles require different level of skill sets. You need to learn how to use different kind of tools for this kind of roles. You need to know what skills do I need to learn to go into these roles. Ask questions. You need to ask questions. Ask the right questions. Ask the right question. Sorry, what skills do I need to learn? What will give me a competitive advantage to those who are already existing in these roles or those people who are out there in the labor markets? Ask questions. Ask people questions. Speak to people around you. Then check the career paths that fits what you want to do. Do you want to move data from source to target? Do you want to build go into data modeling? Do you want to build data warehouses? Do you want to focus more on Power BI? Do you want to focus more on this? These are questions that you need to ask. You need to make research about it. Things you need to learn, things you need to know, the skill sets you need in these various roles that you're going to be going into. Then certifications and training. What certification would make me stand out against my peers? Do I need to learn Microsoft certifications? Do I need to get Google data analytics certifications? What is in Google data analytics certification? Will it help me? Do I need to learn AWS? Do I need to learn Azure? What kind of certifications do I need? Then where can I learn? You have places like Udemy. Even as a data engineer, now I still go into Udemy to like take some courses just to learn, just to put myself, give myself an advantage. I go on YouTube to learn lots of stuff like Python. I hardly use Coursera. I go on LinkedIn to be in the data space to learn, to just see what my fellow data analyst guys are doing. You cannot keep yourself under a rock. The data space is evolving. At the time, everybody was focused about on-prem servers. Everybody focused about on-prem, like learning on-prem, learning SQL service, learning about Oracle. Now you see people learning about cloud, learning about AWS, learning about GCP, learning about Azure. What you think data was in 2020 is not what data is in 2024. What will get you a job in 2023 is not what will get you a job in 2024. The data space is evolving, and you have to evolve as that space is evolving. Then you have to look at building yourself a portfolio. It is important. It is important. You need to show what you can do. You need to show what you can do. I cannot stop emphasizing it. You cannot just tell me you want to get a job. You have to bring value. You need to tell me, like, it's not by saying that, oh, I'm a data analyst. Mm-mm. Anybody can say I'm a data analyst. Tomorrow I can say I'm a doctor. Anybody can claim to be what they are, but you need to show me what you can do. And for you guys that are trying to break into the data sector, or break into data analytics, or break into data science, or break into data engineering, you need to do projects. You need to carry out projects. You need to train yourself. You need to get yourself familiar with your tools, familiar with your skill set, to give yourself a level playing ground with those who are already in the system. Nobody employs because of familiarity. Nobody employs you because of how do I put it. Um, no business. Nobody opens a business and employ people because of charity. Nobody is people. Nobody owe you anything to employ you because they're going to pay you for your services. So why will I pay you to just come in? I need to make sure that if I'm paying you to come into to my business or to come and work for me, you should be able to deliver. It's a give and take. Something. It's a give and take transaction. So you have to looking at projects. There are various projects online. As someone we have showed us, Amdari is one of the best places with what we have currently existing in their platform to carry out projects. Put these projects online. Expose yourself. Go online. You can engage into Marvin Analytics. You can engage. I think there's this competition Marvin Analytics they do. We have Amdari. We have the data science community. There are lots of places where you can see projects for you to build a portfolio of what you want to do. And when you build when you do those projects, it's not for you to keep it in your laptop in your local drive. No, put it out there. Show people out there. Let people know. Mom will say she can do this stuff. Or when you are going around, you're going when there's a vacancy somewhere, you say, there's this guy I used to see online that used to post this stuff. Let me do to try this guy. Can you do this stuff? Can you do this? I saw that you did a customer churn analysis. I saw that you did you did a credit score analysis. Can you do this for me? Nobody employs you with hearsay. Nobody employs you for the fact that you want it means they will give it to you. No, it's a jungle out there. The data space is becoming very crowded, and you want to stand out. You don't want to be like the rest of the flock. You want to stand out. You want to be special. You want to show what you can do. Do projects. Keep sharpen your skills. If you don't, no, people say the best time to carry your umbrella is not when it is raining, when you're inside the rain. It is before it starts raining. So you need to prepare yourself for that opportunity now. And the best way to prepare yourself for that opportunity as a data analyst, as a data scientist, as a data engineer is to what? Carry out projects. Then we have various forms of projects you can decide to do. You can do customer churn analysis. You can do the RFM model that talks about recency, frequency, and monetary value. You can do credit risk analysis. You can do business dashboards. You can run ETL with SSIS. You can do that on cloud. I think for you to do on Azure, you might need to pay a little bit of subscription. I think for Azure they give you I think for Microsoft, they give you a free subscription when you are starting up for like a month. Use it. Like they give you a credit, they give you a credit for you to use for a month, I guess. And if you are worried about where can I get data from, there are so many data out there. You can get data from Kaggle, you can get from Google Data Set Search, you can get from Visual Data, you can get from Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, you can get from World Bank. So you have nothing stopping you. You have nothing stopping you. And when you do these projects, you can then go out, okay, you know what? Let me put in a repository. I can publish it in the GitHub community, or you can publish it on LinkedIn. I've seen some fantastic works on LinkedIn. I've seen people put out stuff in data space on LinkedIn. And when I chat them, like, how did you go about this? How are you able to do this predictive analysis? Why did you use Python here? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Tell me more about medallion architecture. Tell me about Kimball model. You hear stuff, you see stuff. Put yourself out there. Nobody lights a candle and puts it under the table. You need to light the candle and put it out there. Let people see you. So that is very important for you as well. Also, you need to leverage LinkedIn and networking. Send code messages to those ahead of you. The best people to learn from are those ahead of you, not those with you. And that was why in 2019 I reached out to a female and they're like, you know what? I don't care if anybody. I sent lots of messages, not just to a female. I sent to lots of people. Femina did not respond to me the first time, but he did respond to me later on, and he was able to share with me some insights, some ways on how to go about lots of stuff. Hello, I think I'm hearing somebody out there. Okay, send people messages. You need to, when I say you don't need to be so demanding. You have to be very respectful. I knew that I was very respectful in many of my messages. I tried to like, hello, how are you? I love your post. I love the post you did out there. I'm trying to break into data. I'm trying to break into the data community. How do I go about it? And that's why people like FMN there. You have people out there that are willing to help you. Nobody is seeing. Truth is, nobody's really seeing you as a competition. The way life has gone now, everybody's focused about building themselves up. Don't let your ego keep you where you are. Don't let your ego make you stagnant. Don't let that hinder you from reaching out to those around you. If I want to learn how to be a data analyst, it's not from somebody who is doing cybersecurity. I would learn from. I'll go and meet somebody who is ahead of me as a data analyst. If tomorrow I say I want to become a software developer, I'll go and look for a software developer. I want to go and meet somebody who has not even gotten into software development. And let me also remind you, while you are talking to people about your dreams and your plans, you should be able to filter about those who are not really in tune with you. I remember when I was in the payment system, I tried to move to data, and people were like, why am I trying to move to data? That there's nothing there. And if I had let that stick to me, only God knows where I will be today. I might not be where I am today. I might not be. So you need to be able to filter out those conversations, those negative conversations that are trying to hinder your dreams. Then go for events. There are lots of events. I recently saw that the Amdari team were in the Data Fest event that held recently. Go there, expose yourself, put yourself in the data space. Put yourself there, put yourself out there, have conversations with people who are in data space, learn from them, attend events like this, attend Microsoft events. Microsoft holds a lot of virtual events. Attend it, engage in weekly competitions that will help you better your skills. Back then, I don't think I knew Amdari existed back then. Now we have so many platforms where you can learn from. So many platforms are out there where you can learn from, where you can improve your skill sets. If you don't improve your skill set, you think that what you knew last year is what will help you this year. It's a lie. It won't work. So you need to put yourself out there. You need to leverage LinkedIn. You need to network. You need to speak to people that are ahead of you. You need to speak to them. Also, you need to tailor your resume and cover letter. It is very important because one, your resume and cover letter says a lot about you. I've seen people who have not even been in the data space bring up a CV that has 3 pages. Where did you get 3 pages from? Really? You think HRs don't have jobs? And any HR, I've had HR people as friends, as very close friends. And when I see when they tell me something like that, I'll laugh. I'm like, oh my god, you have 1 year experience, but your CV is carrying 4 pages. How? What are you trying? Where are you getting those experience from? You see people's CV that talks about the job description is saying one thing and your CV is saying something else. It doesn't work that way. You need to tailor your resume to what the job description is saying. And that's why I'm going to be taking us. Okay, for that, you need to apply smartly, focus on quality over quantity. Don't restrict yourself when it comes to application. Don't restrict yourself. The most important things I tell people is you can work in any of these 3 roles. I'll be probably data analyst, data engineer, data scientist. The most important thing is the skills, your skill sets. You realize or you check online, when you check probably on LinkedIn jobs or you checked on so many hot Nigerian jobs online, you realize like what they say, what they're requiring for a data scientist is just probably SQL, Power BI, and Excel. Let's just put like that. But because you have done your search as data analyst, you will miss out on data science rules. Some companies now don't say it as data analysts, they tell you financial analysts or operational analysts. That is why your skill set is very important. Don't restrict yourself. So that's why I'm saying you need to focus on quality over quantity. It's not about throwing your CV everywhere. If you throw your CV into so many places, like let's do 100 CV, and you did not plan, you do not tailor your CV, you did not tailor your resume, you did not tailor your cover letter, the rejection you will get, eh? It should be like debit alerts. And we know we have all experienced what it feels like to see rejection. When you wake up at first in the morning, the first thing you're seeing on LinkedIn is rejection. Sorry, we have moved on with this candidate, we have moved on with that candidate. You have to apply smartly. So I've done a lot of talking. I'm going to be going to this next slide that is all about it's a case study, and it's going to show you about a particular rule. And this case study is about a LinkedIn post. Let's say a recruiter posted his job online. Big Pay and Tailor both applied for this role of data analyst with two different CVs. Now, if you look at this, if you look at what we have here, we have the job description, we have the key responsibilities. You can take your time to just look at this within 1 minute. Just look at this job description. I'll be sharing you the two CV now in the next slide. Please also take note of the responsibilities in this job role, what this job role is talking about. So just to be sure, because I think we're running out of time. Am I still on track with time?
Yes, you are. You are.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So if you can see now for these responsibilities, it's saying responsibilities include designing and executing data analysis, developing interactive Power BI dashboards, optimizing SQL queries, and transforming complex data sets into actionable insights. This role also requires you to have strong analytical skills and a deep understanding of data visualization, or to succeed in this role. Now, look at these two CVs of Pinkpay and Tayo. If you are the HR, which of these CVs would we choose? I need to see your responses in the chat, please. I need to see your responses in the chat. Please start dropping your response in the chat and give me your reasons why. Let's just do it for within 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes. Just by seeing these CVs, like, just tell me which of these two CVs do you think would likely get this job? Please ignore the whole format or anything. Just I'm trying to just look at us trying to tailor our job description to what the job role is entailing or talks about. And I wouldn't want to waste our time, so we can move on. So if you say BIM is very simple, very simple. It talks about, oh, I'm a data analyst, I'm a data engineer, and she says I have skills in SQL, Python, Power BI, data visualization. No, it's very simple, it's very basic. But if you see what Tayo is having, Tayo has been able to explain a lot of things. And this is why Tayo's CV wins. Because his CV is focused on what? On key skills for targeted role. It's talking about visualization, it's talking about the impact he's making. He's even adding metrics to show you the impact of what he did in his previous role. And that's why I keep telling people, try to make impact and not impress. Impacts. You want to impact in your team. You're not going to impress. If you try to impress people, you will just be moving around the bush. You just be like you just be doing so much activities without having any real impact. You're just making noise around. So you need to focus about having impact than impressing. Tayo also uses what? Also uses relevant certifications listed to boost its credibility. I think he mentioned about Microsoft's Power BI and some other Microsoft certifications that help boost his CV as well. and Tayo matched the job requirements with his skills. If a job role is telling you it needs data modeling skill sets and you do not put anything about data modeling in your CV, why will I call you for an interview? What do you want to tell me in the interview? If a data rule says it wants you to have Power BI or ability to visualize, and you're not putting Power BI there, you're not putting Tableau in your CV, and you're just putting SQL, did I tell you I want SQL? I told you I want Power BI and I want Tableau, and you're telling me you have SQL. You have to match your skill set to what the job role is saying. And this is why it is very important that when you go online, you check LinkedIn jobs, you need to look at the jobs about the job. You need to have, for me, I have a CV that matches that I don't have. I have a basic CV, one CV, and then I have multiple CVs. And when I tell you to match your CV to what the job role entails, I am not saying you should doctor your CV to put what you don't know in your CV. I had a situation 2 months ago where a Nigerian person, our brother, did something and then on his CV he puts GDPR. And when I pointed it out, like, oh, you stated GDPR, can you tell me about GDPR? What you put here, GDPR? Can you tell me about the data protection law of the United Kingdom? And it was like when I said GDPR, he was looking at me like, sorry, what's GDPR? And I'm like, it's in your CV. You said you did data governance and you have GDPR knowledge. So do you know about the Data Protection Act in the UK? So you can't put what you don't know. If somebody says they want you to be able to carry out data wrangling or data manipulation, yeah, you can tell them there in your CV, executed so and so using SQL, Python, blah, blah, blah. Because everybody knows that SQL is used to carry out lots of data manipulation or data transformations. So you need to match your CV with the job descriptions. You need to match your skill sets with what the job says. Don't apply for things that you know that you can't do or you cannot defend. It's a lot. It puts you in a position whereby even if you were to get into the interview place and you are trying to have a conversation with the HR, you end up making a fool of yourself because you have claimed to be what you are not. So I would give room now for us to ask questions. I'll take about 3 questions so we can move on from there. If we have questions, please. I think I've done a lot of talking. Do we have questions in the group chat, please?
All right, thank you so much, Victor. So, guys,
Yeah.
if you have questions, you can type. I would also permit 2 people to ask their questions by unmuting themselves, but 2 people can actually unmute so that we save time. But you guys can type the questions that you have. Or you can show your appreciation to Mr. Victor for the amazing session. I see people already typing actually. Sheon says, wow, this is really insightful. Yes, indeed. I agree with you, Sheon. And yeah,
I
he's
have a question.
Victor. And Abdurazak. Okay, I see your question, but please go ahead. Someone just unmuted. I think that's Tech Tunes. Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. Victor, nice one. I mean, it would have been a better place to be this evening. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Oh, thank you,
So
Sharon.
before, right? I actually I didn't know it was just about data analytics, right? I'm into web development, right? Is there any platform like this where I can, do you know of any platform like this where I can have, this kind of mentoring, or how well can I in web development benefit from this whole platform? I hope I communicated.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. As at this moment, I can't really say at this moment. If you do not mind, I would do a bit of research. You can reach me out on LinkedIn. I do have friends that are into web, are into software development, and various forms of various jobs in the IT space. I could reach out to them and like ask questions. But for web development, I wouldn't lie, I don't know. I don't know at this point. But just reach out to me on LinkedIn, and that's why we have a LinkedIn platform. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I would definitely drop a message to you. I'll ask around for you, and then if I get any, I'll let you know what's up.
Thank you so much. That would
All
be so
right.
helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Victor. So, Tech Tune, sorry, I would address you with that because that was what you used in joining.
Yeah.
So yes, you can actually do that. Reach out to Victor on LinkedIn. That's still the name, straight on LinkedIn. Make sure you introduce yourself so that he remembers you, and you can take it up from there. Also, I don't know the stage you are at. You mentioned something around mentoring. You can also send me a message on LinkedIn. And if it's maybe you're still at the point of learning, W3 schools is also perfect. I mean, Victor mentioned it in the course of his own journey as well, and it's very perfect as well for web development if you're interested. If it's that you're about to start learning or you're still learning, you might want to check it out. But if it's for mentoring also, yes, you can reach out to me for that. I might have a couple of recommendations for you, but please don't forget to reach out to Victor also. All right, let me
Okay.
read Abdurazak's
So,
question.
name,
All right,
can I get the name on LinkedIn? Can I get the names on LinkedIn?
my name or Victor's name.
The names on
Yes, your
LinkedIn.
name on LinkedIn. Yes.
Okay. My name on LinkedIn is Omawumi Victoria Samson. Then Victor's name is Victor Mekonye. Mekonye. I'm so sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. Okay. All right. I guess I got it right then. Okay, I'm coming back to you guys. Let's take one question in the chat. Abdurazak says, how can I get challenges to work on as a data analyst? Platforms to work on competitive data analyst projects. Yeah.
Hello.
Abdullah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Abdul Razak, there are lots of places you can learn competitive data. Like I mentioned earlier, we have the weekly challenge. I think we have the Danny Mars weekly challenge, 2 weeks weekly challenge. We have Marvin Analytics. They do a lot of challenges on Marvin Analytics, probably Power BI, visualization tools. You could also use W3 schools. W3 school is good. That was where I started from. Maybe just basic. You have Lit Code. You have Lit Code. You have Hackathon. These are very good place. In fact, Hackathon is one of the best places where you can learn. Is it Hackathon or HackerRank? I think it's Hackathon. We can't really pick out the name at this point, but you can use Lit Code. There are lots. You have Free Code Academy that could also help you in learning how to write your queries, not just SQL, not just SQL. You could also learn Python on these sites as well. So I hope that answers your question.
All right, thank you very much, Victor. So just to add to what Victor said, Abdurazak, Amdari also hosts data challenges as well. I mentioned at the start of this call, I don't know if you had joined, that we had challenges, and part of one good thing with joining data challenge is the incentive that comes at the end of it. The first one we had six people who got internship placements, and that internship placement led to like a proper job placement for them. So in fact, we even employed one person at Amdari from that as well. And we have other people in film tech, healthcare, healthcare sector as well, like different sectors. And that's one of the good things. And there was also money, the monetary aspect. The last one we did was purely monetary. It was 2 weeks challenge. The first one was 21 days data challenge, and we have a couple of other ones coming up. So again, just if you're not following Amdari yet, you might want to do that so that you're carried along and you don't miss out on any of this information. Let me take a female. Funke Olashupo, please go ahead. I'll come to your question, Samuel, but let's just take Funke. Hi, Funke, your hand is raised. Okay, I'll move on to Taye. Hi, Taye. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, I'm going. If all right. Hi, Favor. Ibekwe Favor.
Hi.
Hello. All right,
Yeah.
great. So Favor takes the mic then. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Okay. My question is, prior to this time, I gained a scholarship to study data science, of which I'm certified. So, and most times, most of the application I do, they require they need someone that's more experienced, or this 5 years experience in data science and all. So I don't know how. I want to ask why like
Hey, why are you still with us?
Hi, Favor. We can't hear you anymore. Uh, I know you're speaking because I'm hearing like a muffled sound from your.
Yeah.
We can't hear you. I'll move on to another person. Favor, please, you can type, but we can't hear you right now. Let me take Haja. Okay, your hand is down, Hajara. Okay, yes. Hi, go ahead, because I know you've been raising up your hand. Favor, let me unmute. Please just type. Okay, we can't hear you at all. Thank you. Hi,
Hi.
Hajara, do you want to speak? Okay, I'm moving on to Eunice. Hi, Eunice.
Sorry, good evening.
Okay, good evening. All
Yeah,
right, go
sorry.
ahead.
I'm sorry, please. I want to ask if I need to register to partake then I'm very challenged. Like I'm just in the group and I used to see people posting that this is data set and I don't really understand. Maybe I need to register before I can access the data set. Hello?
Okay, thank you, Adra. Yes, I heard you. So yes, I also did like a brief walkthrough at the start of the call. I don't know if you were on the call at that point. Yes, you need to sign up on Amdari website in order to be able to access it. And from the walkthrough I did, I showed how you can access data sets when you select a particular project. So if you need clarity on any of this, you can just send me a message on WhatsApp. I'll drop my number so that we can, take it up from there. Yes, but we don't have any challenge at the moment, but just for subsequent ones. And we always have proper onboarding for all of this challenge that we host or hold. So you know what to do, you know how to navigate the platform, you know what's expected, the outcome, and everything else in between. So like I said, I'll drop my number. It's even on the group as well, but I'll still drop my number. So let me read a question from this place.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have okay, you can't find my LinkedIn. I'll type it. So I'll type it, but let me quickly read out a question for Mr. Victor. So sorry, we have a couple of questions already. While you guys are typing. Guys, I can't take all the questions to be very honest. I can only read two more like two more. After this, one more, and that's all, so that we can allow Mr. Victor, rest. And you can ask him other questions via LinkedIn. Just follow him on LinkedIn, connect with him, and you can make sure you introduce yourself again so he knows where you're coming from and he can take it up from there, like I mentioned. So we have a question from Samuel. He says, I have learned a lot, sir. Thank you so much. But I have a question. How do we handle the facing stereotype in data engineering and software development?
Wow. So, Samuel, I just need to to clarify your question. When you say stereotype in software development and data engineering, could you expatiate more on that? I don't really get it at this point. Are you trying to say like as a data engineer you want to apply for software engineering roles, or as a software engineer you want to apply for data engineering roles? I don't really get the question at this point.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
What I mean in terms of stereotype is there was a time I applied for a particular job under software development and I passed through their interview stage and everything like that. But the moment it got to what country are you from and I told them that I'm African and I'm Nigerian, automatically it was like a red flag for them. It's like a red flag for them and it has happened several times in especially for foreign jobs outside Africa. Anytime applying for jobs outside Africa, I'm always, I don't know if it's for everybody, but particularly for me, I'm always rejected based on my location. The last thing I'll hear is, sorry, don't offer job opportunities to people in that country or people in that location. So how do I handle the stereotype? Is he leaving job search in that location and going more into just African job search, or that's what I'm just trying to understand.
Oh, okay, okay, Samuel. Okay, Samuel. Samuel, I think you are being too hard on yourself. The reason for that stereotype doesn't necessarily need to be with your capability of doing that job. It doesn't really mean that. Uh, while you are feeling that way, there are other people as well getting that job, getting jobs outside Nigeria. Using myself as an example. Now, so there's so many factors that could also be a reason why you are being rejected. And first things first and foremost, our reputation as Nigerians out there, or our country Nigeria reputation out there is different, is different in terms of corruption or issues that people have gone through or have faced based on employing guys here in Nigeria and sometimes deceit and stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to do with you as a person. I think I have friends who are working with Upwork remotely, and it had nothing to do with them being Nigerians. It's just preference of the organization. If they've had bad experiences with Nigerians or people from a particular side, then you wouldn't blame them if they say they don't want to employ from that area. It's not really your fault, and you can also blame the organization. Keep applying, keep putting yourself out there. The job that is for you, you will get it. It probably is just a redirection for you. Seriously, it's probably just a redirection for you. I hope I answered the questions.
All right, thank you very much, Victor. So this would be the last question for Victor, guys. I see the other questions, some of it, the answer is on Amdari, like Hafsa, who says how do we get, go about getting remote jobs. I showed a job board on Amdari the other time. They are majorly remote jobs outside Nigeria, within Nigeria, and these jobs are, updated every day, like I mentioned. So you can check out our platform for that. But Keys also says, how can a business analyst have internship training and build his or her portfolio? So we're starting an internship in, the next 2 weeks. It's an internship cohort. You get to intern under certain companies and like that. So we'll be putting out information and details about that, which I will be communicating. I mean, myself and my team will be communicating that subsequently. So please, if you're not following Amdari yet across social media platform, you might want to do that. Guys, please, let's express our gratitude to Victor Mekonye for the session, and feel free to connect with him on LinkedIn. Reach out to him if you have questions. You never can tell, he might just be the mentor you've been waiting for. So guys, like I said, feel free. We can't take all questions. This is the most that we can take on the session, so that we don't keep everybody waiting for longer than necessary. But thank you all so much for being a part of this session again today.